You may need to pause to stop your kid from putting a fork into a socket, a power outlet.
Or we don't play the game and we attend to our kid. What is going on, everyone? Dominic Dominator with the Veterans Den channel, bringing you a video about a developer who plays video games, streams video games, but also creates video games. I believe in their video, they said that they did some development on God of War Ragnarok, which was a pretty big popular game. But they did a video 2 days ago explaining about certain types of disabilities and then wrap it up into a temporary disability, which is a thing, and I'll get into that. But let's just go to the video where she talks about it.
So this is the second half of this video, where I'm going to talk specifically about accessibility, and even just a lot of people really not understanding the conversation about accessibility in Elden Ring. It has been brought up various times across various mediums by various people that Elden Ring is not, or FromSoft games in general, are not particularly accessible to disabled players.
So the video she created is about Elden Ring, or a DLC for Elden Ring, and how it's very hard and everybody's having issues with it and is just kicking everybody's butt. The part that I showed you, or where I at least start off at, is at the 8-minute and 23-second mark, where she goes on to the second half of this movie, or video, talking about how people with disabilities need accessibilities to video games, which is perfectly fine. I agree, but then she kind of goes off on a run at having a kid is a disability. And the video itself is about 17 minutes, 30 seconds long. And I did get right to the meat and potatoes of the point of this video and everything, but I saw a lot of comments saying, yo, you should have had seen the whole video, and all these people talking trash didn't see the whole video. So I went back and watched the whole 17 minutes and 30 seconds, even saw her paid promo, everything, her little commercial. But once I got to part of it, I can understand why people in the comments were saying, oh, you should have seen the whole video, because yeah, it talks about accessibility for people with disabilities. Totally agree. But let's go ahead, let's shoot right into the video where the whole controversy starts.
There are also multiple kinds of disabilities, especially where gaming is concerned. There are long-term disabilities, there are situational disabilities, there are temporary disabilities. It counts as a disability where a video game like Elden Ring is concerned if you have a kid. You have a 2-year-old, you're trying to play Elden Ring, you can't pause. It is a situational disability that you have, where the game not having the option for you to be able to pause, for example, is a hindrance for your particular disability, a situational disability.
So she explains the 3 types of disabilities: long-term, situational, and temporary. Specifically, we're going to talk about situational. Situational is something that is temporary based on a specific circumstance. Example of that is not being able to hear well because you're at a rock concert and it's really loud and everybody's cheering and the speakers are going off. Or you break your arm and you temporarily can't play football because your arm's broken. So the situational of you throwing a football, if you're a quarterback, this ain't happening. But she explains it as having a kid is a disability, and it's a situational disability.
You may need to pause to stop your kid from putting a fork into a socket, a power outlet.
So I don't believe in this opinion. This is my opinion now. Your child is your responsibility, not a disability, or gives you a disability for having a kid. You made a choice to have this kid. You are responsible for this kid's life. And everything that happens, you're locked in for life. That's just how it goes. That is my opinion. You cannot tell me anything different. For you to say, I'm disabled from playing a video game that I can't pause from because I have a kid, and saying I have a disability, I don't buy that. I ain't cashing that check. I love video games. I've been playing video games since the 80s. I had Nintendo. I even think I had Atari. But I had Nintendo, Super Mario, Duck Hunt, all the way to what the latest Xbox is, and I had everything in between. Love video games. To this day, I still love playing video games. I love just chilling on the couch and playing my Battlefield games and other games such as Assassin's Creed, all that. But I don't play a lot because I got responsibilities. I got to pay bills. I got to work. I got to do things. I got to make content for my channel. I got to do my social media. I got to help out coaching football. I got to train my son so he can be a better football player, all that stuff. Grocery shopping. These are my responsibilities. I knew that going into this, having a kid, everything, having this job. So no, it's not a disability. So sorry, I don't validate that. Everything else, I understand what you're saying. I validate that. But as far as you saying that having a kid is a disability, that's a no-go. When my son was born, I was in the delivery room cracking jokes because I was nervous. I was cracking jokes, making fun of things, everything. And even when I saw my son and they're cleaning him up, I kind of made a joke that, he looked like a little gremlin, something like that. And then once they cleaned him off, they turned around and they handed him to me. As soon as I held him, instantly started bawling, crying. I started sniffling. It started getting louder and louder. I just started crying because when I was holding my son, it was no longer about me. It was no longer about anybody else. It was about my son. My son is now my world. Everything and anything I do from here on out for the rest of my life is for my son, to help my son, to better my son, protect my son, and be there for my son. This is my responsibility, my duty, and this is who I guard. I would be pissed if my son was busy playing a video game and he had his kid and I come over, hey, what's going on, guys? And I see that happening. I probably would level him, but I'm raising him right, so we ain't gonna worry about that. So I commend her. If you want to see the whole video, she also talks about how she started a new award for gaming companies who make accessibilities for people with disabilities. Awesome, love it, support that. But as far as your thought process on a child as a disability, sorry, can't cash that check. Wrong. Try again. Maybe do a better, example. I don't think this person has kids, because the way she talks about how, you're playing a video game and your kid is sticking a fork in a light socket, or whatever she said. Like there's a million other things she could have came up with, but you can see that she was struggling to say an example. So maybe if she ever has kids, it'll change. If she doesn't, then that's her choice. But that is my opinion on all that. Your child is not a disability. It's your responsibility, and a beautiful gift and a beautiful responsibility. So there you have it. What is your thoughts, your opinions, your comments? Please put them in the comment box below and let me know and let others know. Please pass on and share to those who could use this video or may benefit from this video. And please like, share, and subscribe to the Veterans Den channel. And I will see you next time on the next video. Carry on.